The world of Total War Warhammer can be an overwhelming experience even as a veteran of the historical Total War titles. If I were to jump into Warhammer's free weekend as a very first time player, it'd be sure nice to have, 10 things I wish I had known before jumping into my campaign. Well, lucky for you, here are 10 things I wish I had known before playing Total War Warhammer. These first 4 deal with your campaign map, starting at number 1 with corruption and public order. Corruption is a mechanic given to a few races where they can spread their evilish terrain into neighboring regions. If your faction doesn't have a corruption fetish, you'll start to see some hefty public order issues. Push back corruption by constructing buildings that fight corruption with Untainted, deploy edicts in fully conquered regions, or station heroes and agents that have unlocked Untainted skills in the regions being affected by it. In at number 2, building optimization. There are 2 types of settlements in Warhammer, provincial capitals and minor settlements. Provincial capitals have 7 building slots and hold tier 5 buildings. Minor settlements have 3 building slots and can only hold tier 3 buildings. To optimize your province, select the building browser to see what building chains can only achieve tier 3 as their max, and only build those in minor settlements, such as the farm, industry, and barracks chains. Tier 4 and 5 buildings will obviously be reserved for the capital. Number 3, ambush stance. Ambush stance is one stance that your army can use on the campaign map and immensely useful when you want to try and get the upper hand on a pursuing army. When in ambush stance, no other army can see you, and it is only when an agent or army walks within your area of control that it can trigger. The odds of a successful or failed ambush depend both on your heroes or agents' ability to succeed in an ambush and the ability of the enemy's army to see your ambush before it triggers. Number 4 brings in forced march stance. Forced march stance is another stance your army can use, and it increases your movement range by 50% on the campaign map. While it might be tempting to chase that little army out of your region, in the words of Gandalf the Grey,
"Don't tempt me, Frodo."
The negative effects of forced march include the inability to recruit or initiate battles. All units will start the battle tired and never recover beyond it. And lastly, if you are attacked, you cannot retreat. If you lose, your entire army is wiped out. It is rarely worth the risk, so just act like it's not really there. Moving on to battles, number 5 involves the skirmish and guard mode, specifically with ranged units. Having skirmish on will cause your ranged units to scurry away from incoming troops, even if there are units in front of them that could take that charge head on. Typically, you'll turn this off, making sure they stay right where you place them regardless of enemies. Guard mode is equally as necessary as it makes sure that your units do not pursue units as they flee. The last thing you want happening is for your archers or gunners to walk in front of your infantry line without you knowing and getting mowed down by a last-ditch charge from the enemy. So skirmish off, guard mode on, it'll save many a headache while you're playing. Number 6, monsters and gates. This one's pretty straightforward. In the case of sieges, especially in Warhammer, you do not need to have siege equipment to take on a city if you have any monstrous units. Most monstrous units are faster and can take down gates quicker than any siege ram, and with regular units able to instantly use ladders and scale the walls, it makes little sense to spend a few turns building any equipment when you could just charge the walls immediately. In at number 7, charge bonus. If you want to maximize the effectiveness of your cavalry and a handful of monsters, make full use of the charge bonus factor. Charge bonus deals extra damage for 10 seconds. So in this case, you will charge, wait 10 seconds, pull out using the J key, a little bonus hotkey for you, then rinse and repeat. Cycle charging will maximize the damage while ensuring that your more mobile troops do not get bogged down in extended melee. For number 8, it is dragging unit paths. If at any point you want your units to follow a certain path, say for flanking or for other maneuvers that aren't a straight line, you can draw a unique path for them to follow. Simply select the units you want to move and hold down shift. Your mouse cursor should change, at which point you can hold down right click and drag your path. Your unit will then follow that path until told otherwise by your orders. Number 9, locked formation. When moving a set of units, Warhammer enjoys messing up unit formations, which can be incredibly frustrating. To prevent this, you can lock unit formations on the battlefield. All you need to do is form a group by selecting the units and hitting Ctrl G. Above the units, you'll see a lock icon. If that icon is lit up, Your units are locked into the exact formation in which the group was created. If it isn't lit up, hit Ctrl-G again to lock it. Another quick method to move units in formation, and another freebie hotkey, is to hold down Alt, click, and drag your units to where you want them to go. Much like the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, morale is the health bar of your Warhammer units. The morale bar is the gray bar on any unit, and once that bar drains all the way down, the unit will automatically rout. With that in mind, it is oftentimes better to drain a unit's morale down via spells or a constant ranged attack than it is to try and kill every single unit. A unit routing is completely useless, therefore one less unit to focus your attention on. As if you weren't already eager enough to get into Warhammer, if you want to be successful in Warhammer battles, it is an absolute must to go check out Party Elite's Beginner Guide to Warhammer. It is a 40-part series full of battle tactics, and I highly recommend going through them to find out just what you're missing out on to become a Warhammer battle master. The link to his playlist is in the description. That's it for just a few of the top things I wish I knew for Total War Warhammer. If you found something useful, let me know in the comments section below. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and check out my Patreon for ways to get involved on a whole new level. This is Havoc, and I'll see you in the next video.